The Case of the Missing Tekhelet, written by Ben-Tzion Spitz, narrated by Jennifer Kahen.
Talman, did you hear what Aaron said to me?
Doram beamed.
He said it was a perfect fit.
Doram, a tall and lanky older man, tenderly carried the apron-like garment through the makeshift marketplace. Doram and Talman had just left Aaron's tent and were making their way to the center of the Israelite camp, where the building effort for the sanctuary and the preparation of the priestly garbs were well underway.
This ephod,
Doram motioned to the garment in his hands,
will be my crowning achievement. Imagine, to have crafted the garment to be worn by the high priest of Israel. This garment may very well be handed down from generation to generation until the end of time.
Talman nodded in silent agreement as they made their way back to their work area. They entered a large circular clearing with various men and women dyeing, weaving, and sewing threads. In the very middle of the clearing was an assortment of supplies. Talman could hear the sawing of wood and the banging of metal in the distance. Doram gently placed the garment on his work table and sat down on his stool.
Talman, let us start working on the straps of the ephod. Pass me the linen threads.
Talman dutifully passed Doram a long thread made of linen, still attached to a small spool.
Now the scarlet wool and the purple thread.
Talman passed him 2 more threads.
Now the Tekhelet, the blue thread. Doram, the Tekhelet's not here.
What?
What do you mean it is not here? It appears to be missing,
Talman mumbled.
Where could it be? It was right there.
Doram pointed at the floor near the other spools.
That was a very valuable spool. Do you know how long it took the dyers to make that Tekhelet thread? It is easily the most expensive thread. Someone must have stolen it. Thief!
Doram stood up and started yelling.
Thief! Someone has stolen my Tekhelet! Quick, Talman, look around the clearing. See if you can find who took it. Perhaps they are still nearby.
Before Talman took a step, a gray-haired, fit-looking man approached Doram with a quick but stately gait. "What seems to be the problem, Doram?" he asked.
Prince Nethaniel,
Doram stammered.
I wouldn't want to trouble you with such a trivial matter, but someone has stolen our spool of Tekhelet thread.
"One of my duties as a judge is to solve such problems," Nethaniel stated.
"Are you sure that it was stolen?"
"Yes.
It was right here when we left to fit the ephod on Aaron. When my assistant Talman and I returned, it was gone."
"I see." Nethaniel held his sparsely bearded chin. "Is it possible one of the many other artisans here in the clearing borrowed it?"
"It is possible," Doram answered. "There are several other people that also require Tekhelet."
"I would suggest that we visit them," Nethaniel motioned. "Perhaps then we shall find clues to your missing Tekhelet."
"Let's go to Ramit first,"
Doram pointed to the left.
"She is responsible for making Aaron's robe, which is completely made out of Tekhelet. She requires the most. She would be my first suspect."
Doram led Nethaniel and Talman to a white-haired, thin woman bent over a loom.
"There it is!"
Doram pointed at a large 2 feet tall spool of blue thread next to the loom.
"Doram," Ramit said, "what are you bothering me about?" "You stole my Tekhelet, woman, and I want it back." "Your Tekhelet? What are you talking about? This is my Tekhelet."
"Excuse me," Nethaniel interrupted. "Doram, Ramit, do you mind if I ask a few questions?" They both shook their heads. "Ramit, how long have you been working on this loom with this spool of Tekhelet?"
"Honored Prince,"
Ramit bowed gently.
"I have been working on this loom with this Tekhelet, my Tekhelet, continuously since daybreak. Doram is clearly mistaken."
Doram started to argue, but Nethaniel raised his arm to silence him. "Talman," Nethaniel turned to the young man,
In your opinion, is this the spool that you and Durham worked with today? No, sir, Talman responded. It's clearly a different spool. Our spool was about half the size of this one. Ramit, Nethaniel turned back to her. I apologize for our intrusion. We shall stop bothering you and continue our investigation. Have a good day and compliments on the beautiful work. Ramit rose to say farewell. Why, thank you, honored prince. It is no bother at all. Nethaniel took Durham by the arm and said to him quietly, Durham, I would suggest that you let me handle the discussions with suspects. It will not do to throw accusations around blindly. Am I understood? Yes, sir. Durham looked at his feet. I apologize for my outbursts. It's just that we really need that Tekhelet. It is valuable and also critical for finishing the ephod. Do not fear, we shall find it. Who else needs it for their work? Shalka. Shalka's working on the hoshen, the breastplate. He might have taken it. Lead the way, then. Durham led Nethaniel and Talman across this clearing. They passed the central storage area. Seamstresses were placing beautiful long white linen robes on top of the other supplies. There is Shalka, Durham pointed out. Thank you, Nethaniel said. Both of you, please come with me and let me handle the questions. The group approached a short, middle-aged man sitting at a workbench, weaving threads into a rectangular pattern. Good day, Shalka, Nethaniel addressed him. Shalka stood up quickly from his bench and bowed deeply. Good day, Prince Nethaniel. How might I be of service? We are seeking the whereabouts of a spool of Tekhelet thread that was being utilized by Durham and Talman, who, as I am sure you know, are working on the ephod. Well, as you can see, Shalka pointed at his workbench, I have only taken the amount of threads I calculated that I would need. I took it from the spool in the central storage area. Perhaps check with Malia. She also has need of Tekhelet. Thank you, Shalka. Nethaniel bowed slightly. By the way, where on the breastplate is the stone from my tribe to be placed? Oh, the stone of the tribe of Yisachar is right here. Shalka pointed at one of 12 slots on the breastplate. Second down from the top, middle row. Your stone is sapphire. It's a beautiful stone, very much like the Tekhelet in color. Yes. Well, thank you for your assistance, and we wish you good luck with your fine work. Thank you. Nethaniel led Durham and Talman away from Shalka. What does Malia do? Nethaniel asked them. Malia is working on the hem of Aaron's robe, Durham answered. That also needs Tekhelet. Then let us speak with Malia. This way, Durham led them. They passed the central storage area again. Nethaniel stopped and looked curiously at the linen robes. What beautiful workmanship, Nethaniel commented. These are pure linen, and what an interesting pattern. There are to be 5 of these, 1 for Aaron and 4 for his sons. Yes, Durham answered. Why did they leave them here? Nethaniel asked. That was Bezalel's instruction, Durham explained. He wanted a centralized location for all the supplies and materials, a station for everyone to leave their completed portions for quick and easy review. I think it also motivates us to see the progress and hustle and bustle. Brilliant, Nethaniel exclaimed. That boy is truly a wonder. I knew he was the right choice. Now, tell me, Durham, did you really need the entire spool of Tekhelet for your work on the ephod? Durham mumbled. Not really, but I'm not a mathematical genius like Shalka. I couldn't compute how much thread I would need and just cut it. That is why I needed the whole spool with me. You mean your work did not require the use of a full spool? Nethaniel asked. Bezalel had suggested that the bulk material stay in the central area, but I'm so close, I thought that if anyone else came looking for thread, they could just take it from my station. So you are telling me that you originally took a spool against Bezalel's directives, placed it by your workstation, and now someone has taken it from you? Yes. Durham looked down. Point out Malia's station to me, Nethaniel ordered. Right there, next to Ramit, Doran pointed. I do not see any spools by her. No, Doran agreed. But she doesn't really need so much material. When you left to fit the ephod on Aaron, did you clear your work table? Of course, Doran lifted his chin. I always leave a clean and neat workspace. So a casual observer might have determined that you had completed your work? Nethaniel asked. Probably. Did you inform anyone before you left that you had not finished, or ask them to watch over your materials, including the precious Tekhelet? No. Why would I? I would never have suspected my brothers of stealing. Is that so? At the first sign that something was amiss, you started yelling, thief, thief, for all to hear. Well, what else could it be? It's not where I left it, and none of the other artisans have it. Are you suggesting that I am at fault? Yes. The case is clear to me now. Nethaniel looked again at the linen robes. What have I done wrong? Where's the Tekhelet? Your first error was to deviate from Bezalel's guidelines. Your second error was to leave your station before returning the spool of Tekhelet to its proper place. Your third and most troubling error was to accuse your brothers of theft. You were then so desperate to reclaim your Tekhelet that you could not even distinguish between the original spool and Ramit's, which was twice its size. I'm sorry. Doran clasped his hands together. I knew moving the spool was wrong, and then I panicked when I didn't see it again. But where is it? I must know. Doran, you will often find that the things you seek are often right under your nose. Nethaniel grabbed one of the linen robes and lifted it up. Underneath it was a spool of Tekhelet thread, about a foot in height. My Tekhelet! Doran exclaimed and rushed to pick it up. No. Nethaniel put up his hand. It is not your Tekhelet. It is the Tekhelet of the children of Israel, a small part of which has been entrusted to you for this holy work. You must revise your viewpoint if you are to successfully complete this work. And you must measure out the amount of thread you need over here, in the central station. I am sure Talman is fully capable of helping you with this task. Yes, Prince Nethaniel. Doran bowed repeatedly. You are wise and just. It was foolish of me to consider it my personal property or project. I'm truly sorry, and I shall make amends to Amit for yelling at her, and to all those in the clearing for yelling thief. But how did you know? How did you know it was right here? Because of your irresponsibility. Once I understood that you had deviated from the norm and compounded your error by leaving communal material by your station, I surmised that someone else, most probably Malia, must have also had need of the Tekhelet while you were away. Malia did not find it in the central storage area where it should have been. She then searched the entire clearing, finding it by your station. Malia then took the amount of thread that she needed and returned the Tekhelet back to its proper place, so that others in need would find it. Subsequently, someone placed the linen robes on top of the spool, which hid them from plain sight. So, the guilty party to your accusations is none other than yourself. I am shamed. Doran's shoulders dropped. My laziness has caused me loss of time and embarrassment. Do not be sad or upset. Learn from this. Be more considerate of both others and communal property. You have important work to do. I consider this case closed, and I look forward to seeing what I am sure will be a beautiful ephod, together with the other priestly garments on our brother Aaron, soon to be high priest. This was The Case of the Missing Tekhelet, written by Ben-Tzion Spitz, narrated by Jennifer Kahen.